What's up guys, MegaDPAL here bringing black to white to OU battle. Got a bit of a defensive masterclass for you guys out here today. I'm using this team where I pick 6 Pokemon that look like they might work well together. And my opponent, he's running a rain team. My team consists of standard Ferrothorn, standard Jellicent, offensive pivot Landorus. Supposed to be my offensive Heatran, but I actually brought my Magma Storm in Heatran. But that's cool. Choice specs, Latios, and your standard SD and Lucario. Alright, so let's just get into the battle. Alright, let's go. Kind of a long battle for you guys here today. So first I'd like to quickly apologise for that. But basically, I'm going to lead out my Ferrothorn, predicting to lead out with a Polito, but he actually leads out with his Fortress. I've very nearly led out with my Heatran, predicting the Fortress, because you'll notice I don't have a Rapid Spinner. You know, want to get up his hazards as soon as he can. But first turn he's just going to set up his rocks as I go for my layer of spikes. The second turn he went for the Rapid Spin as I went for Leech Seed. Apparently I missed that Leech Seed, so that's a little annoying, but that's cool. Now I know this Fortress really can't touch my Ferrothorn, so what I'm going to do is continue to set up some spikes as he actually switches out, goes into his Jirachi. The way he bought in his Jirachi, I kind of thought this thing might either be choice, they want to trick me, or he's carrying the Fire Punch, even though being on the rain team, you know, for that element of surprise. But either way, I'm just going to switch out, go into my Heatran, just to scout out. But he goes to U-turn, so I'm still kind of thinking it could be choice in some way. But he's just going to U-turn out, go into his Politoed, set up his rain. Basically, I don't want to take a Stab, Scald, Surf, Hydro Pump, whatever he's carrying. So I'm going to go and switch back, go into my Ferrothorn. Once again, just scouting out what this thing wants to do. As you will see, he actually goes for a Safeguard, which is rather interesting. I don't see Safeguard in Politoed at all. A lot, really, I should say, on the Wi-Fi, but that's cool, I guess. What I'm actually going to do now is I go for that Leech Seed, predict him to go into the Fortress, either to take the Power Whip or want to Rapid Spin my hazards away, but he brings in his Jirachi, and I'm like, okay, I do see the lefties there. I'm like, even if you are running Fire Punch, which is very, very rare, then I'm confident I can take it in the rain. So I'm pretty sure he's just going to U-turn out of there, which he does. He just U-turns out, goes into his Toxicroak, as I'm just going to use this time to set up my second layer of spikes. So that's all cool. And now I'm like, alright, Toxicroak can be a little bit of a threat, but I have a decent check for it in the form of my Landorus T. So I'm just going to switch him out, go into my Landorus, get off the Intimidate on this Toxicroak, and take a possible Drain Punch. But he predicts the switch, and goes that Substitute, but that's kind of obvious, but it's still good for him, I guess. Basically, I am just going to try and break this thing Substitute and then try and take this thing out the following turn, as opposed to setting up my Stealth Rock. So I don't want this thing setting up to a point where it could potentially do a lot of damage to my team. So I'm just going to go for that Earthquake, breaking his sub after he went for the Bulk Up. So basically, like I said, I'm just going to go for Earthquake again. He's a neutral attack now, so I'm confident even if he does go for Ice Punch that I should be able to take it, being a Landorus T. But he actually goes for Drain Punch. I guess predicts my Ferrothorn, which is a really bad play on his part. But yeah, that's fine for me. And I do a lot of damage with the Earthquake, but not enough to take him out. Definitely 2-hit KO. Either way, I'm just going to go for that, just to try and take that thing out. Like I did say, but he brings in his Fortress. And look at how much damage this Earthquake does to his Fortress. I was like, I wasn't sure if another would kill. So, especially after lefties recovery. So I'm actually going to switch, go into my Jellicent, predicting to go for that Rapid Spin to get away my spikes, which he does go for, so that's pretty nice. And now I do know he has a Gastrodon on his team. So what I'm actually, the obvious Gastrodon switch is obvious. So what I'm actually going to do is go straight for that Will-O-Wisp, hit that Gastrodon up, get some a burn on this thing. As he does switch into it, I do hit the Will-O-Wisp, so that's really nice. Get some residual damage onto this Gastrodon. I would much prefer a Toxic on a Gastrodon, but burns all fine. Nice little bit of residual damage each turn. And I'm actually carrying the Taunt on this Gastro, and I'm just going to go for that, as I mean Taunt on the Jellicent. And I'm just going to go for that because I don't want this thing to be able to recover or spam Toxic, anything like that, as he actually went for a Scald, I guess, predicted me to switch out in something, I'm not too sure what. Either way, I'm going to switch out now, go into my Ferrothorn, as he goes for that Earth Power. Does a decent amount actually to my Ferrothorn to say it was a Earth Power, but yeah, that's all cool, I guess. What I'm actually going to do now, I'll make a little bit of a bad play. I just go for that Power Whip. I should have gone for the Leech Seed, predicting the Fortress, but I just went for the Power Whip, try and knock out that Gastro. But no, it's not going to be the case as he brings this thing in and takes that reasonably well, recovers most of the damage back with his lefties. But that's cool. What I am going to do is my obvious jail sense, which is obvious, but I cannot afford to let him get rid of my spikes, so I'm just going to do it anyway. Switch into my jail sense, because even if he predicts it, as he does, there's nothing that he can really do. And next he goes for a Thunder Wave and Fortress. I can't say I really see that, but alright, okay. I don't mind, to be honest with you. But now I'm just going to go for a Taunt, predicting this Gastrodon switch. But of course I get the first turn paralysis, therefore I'm not going to be able to get the Taunt off on this thing, which means this following turn is going to enable his Gastrodon to be able to go for that recover, plus recovering up to next to full HP, as I just go for a Taunt this next turn just to try and stop it from recovering a little bit later down the line and possibly going for Toxic, etc. Stuff like that, so it's a little bit annoying, but that's cool. Now he goes for Scald once again, as I just went for the recover, predicting him to go for that Air Power, just scouting out how much that would do. But I guess he went for Scald, predicted a switch again. I'm not too sure why or what into. But he just goes for the Air Power this turn, as like I said, I do recover. And as you can see, the Air Power, it's like a 4 or 5 hit KO after the lefties recover it. So here, we both know he's not in the best predicament. So the obvious switch is obvious. I'm just going to go for that Will-O-Wisp as he switches out into his Politoed. Again, another bit of residual damage on his Politoed. So that's all pretty nice, I guess. What I'm actually going to do this next turn, I believe I'm just going to switch into my Ferrophone. You know, just to set up some Leech Seed, get some residual damage. Possibly even go for a power whip, that kind of stuff. Really just goes for a Safeguard. Again, I don't really mind him going for Safeguard. It's not bothering me at all, really, in the slightest. And yeah, so what I'm actually going to do now is go for the Leech Seed, I do believe. Because he's going to keep spamming this Scald. And if he gets a burn, that's going to be a lot of residual damage going off on my Ferrophone. But I missed the Leech Seed. Thankfully didn't get the burn. But I know my Ferrophone is a big threat to his team. So I want to keep this at a nice, healthy range amount of HP. And he's going to keep going for that Scald. Thankfully, like I said, he's not getting the burn. I land the Leech Seed this time. That's great. I'm going to get some nice residual damage in combination with the Leech Seed and the burn on his Politoed, and get some nice recovery back with my lefties and of course Leech Seed damage. So what I'm actually going to do is I believe I go for my no, I switch on back here. I switch on out. I'll go to my Gel Set just to rack up some Leech Seed and burn damage, and to take the Skull, get back up to the full HP. But actually goes for Ice Beam. I guess maybe predicting the Latios, but yeah, it's not going to be the case. And like I said, a lot of residual damage going off on his pokes here. Basically, I can kind of see that he doesn't want to keep his Politoed alive. He is trying to use this thing as Death Order, get a free switch into anything else. As I just went for that at Taunt there, predicting the Gastrodon switch, which stayed in and went for the Perisong. But yeah, basically it looks to me as though he's using his Politoed as Death Fodder to get a free switch into something and then go from there. So basically what I'm actually going to do is switch on back out here, go into my Ferrophone, because I know I can take a hit, an Ice Beam from the thing, so of course I'm not going to go for a Scald. But he goes for Safeguard. Again, I really don't mind him doing this, but he is going to die to the Leech Seed damage, therefore I'll get a nice little bit of recovery back on my Ferrophone, and that thing can continue to be an annoyance to his team. So that's pretty nice. The first Pokemon down actually was his Politoed, so it's 6-5 in my favour. He sends in his Dratcher. I'm not too sure why he sends in his Dratcher as opposed to his Toxicroak, but that's all cool. He's just going to go for that Thunder, as I'm just going to go for that Leech Seed. Because like I did just mention earlier, I want to get my Ferrophone up to a nice healthy range of HP, where this thing can keep doing shenanigans and yeah, basically annoying his team. So I do get off that Leech Seed, so that's pretty cool. And here he actually goes for a Wish. And I'm like, oh, alright, that's pretty cool. As I just set up my third and final layer of spikes, I'm thinking, well, he might want to try and pass this on to either his Fortress or maybe his Gastrodon, but that's a bit of a risky switch. So basically what I'm going to do, I think I'm just going to go for that double Leech Seed, predicting that Fortress switch. If it doesn't, he actually goes for the Thunder. Doesn't get the paralysis, but it's not going to matter really on a Ferrophone, as I did just go for that double Leech Seed. He gets a nice amount of HP back with his Wish, so that's pretty cool for him. Basically, I'm just going to keep... no, I believe I'm going to switch on out here. Try and force this Dratch out. So I'm going to switch on out, go into my Landorus T, get off the Intimidate on this thing. Like I said, force this thing, out of there as he actually goes for a wish. And looking at his team, now I have 3 layer of spikes. I know his team's not going to be able to switch in too many times and are going to take a lot of damage if so. So either way, I know his Jirachi's not going to want to stay in against my Landorus, and he does have a Fortress and the Gastrodon he might want to try and pass his switch onto. So either way, I'm just going to click that Earthquake, and after all that spikes damage, it brings in his Gastrodon. I'm going to go for that Earthquake, and I am actually going to be able to take out this Gastrodon. That's really nice for me. Take that thing out. I am pretty glad I did take that out because it was quite annoying. But yeah, now he brings in his Salamence. He actually predicts the Ferrothorn switch and goes for that Fire Fang in the rain. Seems logical, but yeah, I'm not just going to do that. I carry the HP Ice on my Landorus. I'm just going to go for that. Definite 2-hit KO, so that's pretty nice. Here, I have no reason to overpredict. He brings in his Fortress. All the spikes damage is going to bring it down to range with a Hidden Power Ice. Will kill his Fortress, so that's really nice for me. That thing's also down. Now he's going to send in his Jirachi. Once again, after all the spikes damage, there's nothing this thing can really do for me. He's going to go for the Iron Head. Maybe try and flinch it to death, but that's not going to be the case. I'm going to drop an EQ on this Jirachi, tearing that thing apart. So that's really nice. Bringing him down to his last 2, his Salamence and his Toxicroak. He's just going to go for that Outrage. It will massive amount of damage to my Landorus, but I'm bulky. I can take that. Retaliate back with Hidden Power Ice. Taking down his Landorus. So that's great for me. Now, like I said, he's down to his last, the Toxicroak, and we do know he's not carrying the Ice Punch. Either way, he's just going to go for that Sucker Punch, but it's not going to be enough to kill, and Landorus T is going to take out the Toxicroak for the win. So basically, this was a mini Landorus sweep, a 6-0 at the end there. Basically, like I said at the start, it was a defensive masterpiece. My offensive Pokemon, Lucario and Latios, didn't see the field. Heatran only saw the field once. So them 3 guys at the front, Ferrothorn, Jellicent and Landorus, did their stuff. Ferrothorn, its shenanigans, setting up its hazards. Jellicent, burning stuff, and Landorus intimidating, and then eventually sweeping it in. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like. Comment down below whether you prefer offense or defense. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Pokemon battles. Also, don't forget to check out my latest battle. Alright guys, see you later. Bye.